is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cams. Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope. Glenn Ford, Amy Hodgkins, Kylie Clapp, the so-called witnesses that knows everything but didn't see anything under the microscope. We have Mustafa Al Jazari from Prince William County Adult Detention Center. Mustafa, hello, hello, hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Everything is good. We have everybody on a group chat. We have everybody joining the podcast. We have Shelly. We have Julia. We have Char. We have Char's dog. We have Casey. We have Tracy, Becky, and who am I missing here?
Hey, Joe and Christina.
Mary Jo, um, Christina, Amy Hodgkins, Glenn Ford on the live, joining in the background. We have Kylie Clapp. We have all of our trolls here joining us. We can't do it without our troll.
Your attention.
And before we jump into this conversation, I like to mention this for our supporters, our trolls. Now, I'm in the business of collecting Pokemons, and I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm getting really good at it because now I have the body cam and the discovery where it shows that this county have falsified my brother police report. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a very special, specific Pokemon, Amy Hodgkins, aka Christine Warda7 on TikTok. I've got your Pokemon, ma'am. I've got Mary Jo. Now, you've taken my Pokemon, you've abused my Pokemon, and here we are rallying around that Pokemon. Mary Jo, thank you for being here. How are you, ma'am?
That's Christina.
Mary Jo.
She's getting her notebooks. She's getting her notebooks because she's taking lots of notes on these
Yes,
files.
ma'am. She is taking a lot of notes. A lot of notes.
Christina's just la la land over there. She's hi, Christina.
Now, I'll tell you, Christina, hello, hello, hello. We have Christina. Christina is Mary Jo's daughter. Thank you for being here,
We
ma'am.
got Christine. We got the other Christine.
We have the other Christine Bustos.
We got lots of Christinas.
Uh,
Just don't call them Christine.
they got me having PTSD from the name Christine. Amy Hodgkins. Amy Hodgkins, I find her on a body cam, but online she likes to tell everybody, my name is Christina Kuzai. But the minute that you say, ma'am, we have her on a body cam as Amy Hodgkins, she gets terrified. As a matter of fact, she goes private. Now, we all know. Now, let me tell you a little bit about me. In my undergrad at VCU, I did 2 years of psychology. I loved that topic. I love psychology. Now, I do a lot of psychoanalyzing when I'm talking to individuals.
Psychoanalyzing.
Now, that personality, Amy Hodgkins, does a lot of drugs. And nothing worse when you're doing drugs and you can't release your anger against Mustafa's brother. You're on private. You're on private, and you're so terrified because we're shedding light on what you've been doing for the past 2 years to Mustafa Al Jazari, to the case of Mustafa Al Jazari. Now, on that note, now that I've addressed the giant elephant in the room about Pokemons, collecting Pokemons, and the Christine, aka Amy Hodgkins situation, let's dive into the conversation. Mustafa, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, what's going on?
You tell me. You tell me, man. What's going on inside? How is all my friends, all the correctional officers? How is everybody else? I hear a lot of people are talking about your barefooted monkey bald brother.
Yeah, well, everybody's tuning in, and
Mustafa,
everybody-
if you don't
everybody's
claim
good.
him, I don't blame you.
You hear Julia. She said, I think she said, if at this point you don't disown your brother, I don't blame you. I don't think that's what she said, but
She said, if you do disown,
if you do disown,
blame him. That she won't blame him.
That is funny. You know, I'll tell
I
you.
know.
If it wasn't for my brother, we would have never found out. We would have never identified these diddlers.
Oh, the diddlers have been identified. I made a very,
Playing Mustafa. He knows I'm playing.
Julia, I love you, ma'am, and everybody here. I'll tell you, the community is rallying around what they're doing in the Mustafa Al Jazari case, and it's nothing than police misconduct, falsified police report, manufacturing probable cause, and they're so angry. Mustafa, they're so angry that that the evidence are being leaked out on the internet. Today I got a letter from Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. So Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is bringing a case against Elaine for they're blaming her for releasing videos, releasing material. Now, I find it interesting that Elaine, when she first came on the case, she said she went online and she was very public and released the jail videos. Now, the minute that the jail lawyers brought sanctions against Elaine, Elaine turns around in panic and she says, I gotta have me a scapegoat. And she's using me as a scapegoat. Now,
Exactly.
on the, I just got a letter. You are commanded to appear at the circuit court of the county of Prince William County, located at the judicial blah, 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 9311 Lee Avenue, 3rd floor, Manassas. I think I'm being used as a witness into the Elaine Jarvis situation. Now, it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be with Judge Carol Weimer. Wait a minute. Don't I have a show?
When does it?
Yes, ma'am. This is on the 21st of February. Now, Amy Ashworth is calling me to be a witness on the 21st. Witness Amy Ashworth, attorney for the Commonwealth, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I have trial with Elaine. Elaine is bringing a civil lawsuit against me in Warren County. And Judge Funk is giving me a whole entire day to go over exhibits. Exhibit that will show that Elaine is lying and is using her paralegal, me, Mustafa's brother, as a scapegoat. I have exhibits that will destroy Elaine and her career in what she attempted to do in the Mustafa Al Jazari case. Now, our day is on the 27th. Now, I'll tell you, Elaine Jarvis, what she's done at Warren County is, Bustos, you've asked me before a very interesting question. You said, Amar, Elaine is a lawyer, and she's bringing a civil lawsuit against you. Why is she not representing herself? Why is she hiring another lawyer? A lawyer hiring another lawyer against a paralegal? It makes absolutely no sense. I'll tell you what's going on here, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I thought Mustafa had court on the 21st and you had court on the 26th.
Yes, ma'am. So on the 21st, they're addressing the Elaine situation. Elaine is being sanctioned by the county on the 21st. Now, what Elaine wanted to do was she brought a civil lawsuit against me in Warren County. I believe it was a month ago. When I made that video on the internet about me when I served Elaine's lawyer with the exhibits. Elaine was hoping that she was going to hire a lawyer that has a good relationship with Judge Funk out of Warren County. Now, if you look into the history of that lawyer, he has a good relationship with Judge Funk. Hoping that when she hires that lawyer, Judge Funk is just going to look the other way and not look at the exhibits that I have. Now, I filed a whole motion against Elaine Jarvis. When she filed a civil lawsuit against me, I filed the whole motion. Me being a paralegal, I know how to write my own motion. and I know how to represent myself, and I filed it, and I should be getting my day in court to go over the exhibits. So Elaine, what she did, she has a very specific lawyer that has a relationship with Judge Funk, very close to Judge Funk. Now, if you know anything about Warren County, if you know anything about Judge Funk, Funk is a big name in that county. They own half the property out of Warren County. It's a big name. I don't know if they own half the property, but it's a big name. It's a very well-known last name. Judge Funk has a reputation. Now, Judge Funk, looking at the whole entire situation, does he want to implicate himself in the mess coming out of Prince William County? No. This is a different county. This is a different judge that has a reputation in his hometown, that looked at the situation, called out the situation for what it is, and he said, in court, by the way, in court, Elaine's lawyer wanted to look the other way. He said, Your Honor, can we just rule on without looking at the exhibits? Judge Funk said, we're going to have a whole entire day. The same way I'm listening to you, I'm going to listen to you. And we have a whole entire day to go over the exhibits that Omar has. She wanted to have this before she gets sanctioned. And if this isn't proof that she's using me as a scapegoat before she gets sanctioned by the county, I don't know what it is. I mean, the more you look into it, it hits you right in the face what Elaine is doing. Now, I'm being used as a witness on the 21st. I cannot wait to sit in that courtroom and be called to the bench and sit in Judge Carol Weimer courtroom and be a witness. I mean, Judge Carol Weimer, you've been impartial on my brother's case for the past 2 years. It gotten so bad that now I made a career out of it. I have my own podcast. My YouTube channel is getting monetized. I'm getting paid on YouTube. I made a career out of it. I mean, 1 minute I'm a barefooted monkey protesting in front of the jail. Now I'm in a suit on a podcast about you, Judge Carol Weimer. I have a whole entire show to tell this community that you have not been impartial in my brother's case. As a matter of fact, I've got other files that I have not released about other individuals. I'm just waiting. I'm working with individuals that are giving me the green light on certain files to release, and we're proceeding in a certain fashion. I mean, apparently, there's a lot of people out of Prince William County that have a badge in the uniform that are not okay with corruption behind closed doors. That I am given a flash drive by a Prince William County police officer to talk about files of police misconduct behind closed doors. And here we are. We're on a show, on a podcast, talking about the Mustafa Al-Jazari case and other individuals. And the community is a deciding factor. I know they like to dismiss the community. They think the media is in their pocket, and the community is so worn out with their mundane daily life that they're not paying attention to the details. Well, you know, we're here to talk about the details. When you get off work, you're going to tune in, and you don't have to take my word for it. I am here to supply you with certain files, and it's up to you to make up your mind. Why are you not hearing about this in your local Inside Nova? That's a media outlet. Why is it that when you look up Mustafa Al-Jazari in your local Inside Nova in Prince William County, you see that Mustafa is charged with double counts of manslaughter? Mustafa is not being charged with 2 counts of manslaughter. Mustafa Al-Jazari is being charged with double counts of murder. Now, I'll tell you why Inside Nova deceives the community in that fashion. Because the minute that they report, that they say they're going to tell you that Mustafa is going to be charged with 2 counts of murder, you're going to call your local Commonwealth attorney, and you're going to tell her, it's a vehicle accident. How did you move it all the way to murder? And then you're gonna start asking the hard questions. Where is this dash camera? Where are his police body cams? And why is everything sealed? And then you're gonna tune in to whatever the county is not telling you, this podcast. I mean, apparently, I'm the only one talking about the Mustafa Al Jazari case. I've got my fingers up their asshole so high, far up, that's coming out of their mouth that I'm their spokesperson. I am Amy Ashworth's spokesperson. I am Chief of Police Peter Newsham's spokesperson. I am Sarah Sammy spokesperson. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, you have not came out publicly and addressed the Mustafa Al Jazari case because you're terrified. You don't know what to say. I've got landmines everywhere. I've got body cams. I've released body cams in discovery that you cannot address the Mustafa Al Jazari case without telling the truth. And if you lie about the Mustafa Al Jazari case, the community is not stupid because they're going to tell you, well, ma'am, this body cam showed that your officer is saying that this is a vehicle accident. This dash camera showed that it's a vehicle accident. The computer inside the vehicle show it's a vehicle accident. Ma'am, you're using a pedophile into Mustafa's character? I mean, Glenn Ford, we have him on a recorded line admit to a private investigator that he fucks a 16-year-old. That he wakes up with her in his bed. I mean, we're using that guy? Oh, wait a minute. The Commonwealth Attorney removed all his criminal charges. Gun charges, drugs distribution, drunk in public. Oh, she processed them? Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute, that's disturbing. Oh, the other star witness have solicited to kill Mustafa? On a recorded line, Kylie Clapp, who was 16 at the time, today's 18, she's on a recorded line soliciting to kill Mustafa? That's your star witness, Amy. People are going to start asking questions. And so many other details. Mustafa, thank you for being here, sir. Everybody's here. Thank you for joining the podcast. How was your day, man? How was your day? You know, I'm so deep in the conversation. I forgot that you're here. I forgot that everybody's here. We're so deep in the conversation. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Mustafa, what would you like us to talk about today? I mean, I have a whole schedule and written down details that I want to talk about. What do you want to address?
I mean, you can talk about, you have Kylie Clapp making weird videos, soliciting answers, that she's trying to make me look like an abuser.
That is crazy. We watched a video yesterday. I was telling you about a video that I find in your discovery that Kylie Clapp goes into the vehicle when you're not there, when Dorothy's not there, a month before the vehicle accident. Now the same Kylie Clapp that's on a recorded line soliciting to kill you. Can we kill you? Can we kill him and make it look like an accident? And she's going up to the other star witness, the jealous ex-boyfriend. Now we're taking a deep dive into this girl. The girl has a motive, and it's so disturbing. That video is so disturbing. It takes you 2 seconds to realize it's there's an agenda. She has a cell phone, not on 5-year-old Empress, not on her, and she's forcing this girl to say things that she wants her to say. It takes you 2 seconds to see what this is.
That is really weird. And if you watch the whole videos, you can see Empress is running around behind me trying to put a Band-Aid on me.
It's disturbing.
Like, everybody loves me, everybody's like hugging me, and like it's like a normal environment. But they're trying to paint it as like I'm this monster.
You know, Kylie Clapp came out. Kylie Clapp was, at the time she was 16. They did a forensic interview, and in the discovery, it shows that Commonwealth Attorney removed her forensic interview and redid it a year later after Kylie Clapp came out and sat down with us. And at the time, I thought it was a genuine interaction. Apparently, the girl wants to get her story straight, and she wants to see the Google Nest, the videos inside the apartment, so she can get her story straight. To sit here, I mean, I've got this on in a discovery. So Kylie Clapp goes on the internet and she says, "No, nobody did my interview." Really? Well, I've got documents that says Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, prosecutor Sarah Sammy redid your interview and deleted the original forensic interview.
That's all going to reflect in court. People are going to ask questions. The fact triers, the jurors are going to ask questions. Why do you have to delete the original interview? What is it that was in that interview that didn't match up?
Well,
it's really weird.
It's so obvious she's getting her story straight. And right now she's terrified because there's a Google Nest. There's a Google Nest that showed that you love your family. The prosecutor, Kylie Clapp, Glenn Ford, all these individuals that say they're being asked about your character. They're being asked about your relationship with Dorothy. They're being asked about your relationship with the kids. They tell you on a forensic interview and in the police body cam that they were not there. So how is the police department using these individuals as witnesses? If they're telling you we're not there, they're just saying a whole bunch of things. This is called hearsay. Just because it's in the discovery, I mean, the discovery is a fancy term for a document, for a court police department document. And you have to be able to decipher whether it's hearsay or an actual witness. Just because it's in the discovery, I know my trolls, and Amy Hodgkins, aka Christine Warda, whatever the fuck her name is, Alcaraz, likes to say, "Oh, it's in the discovery." Well, ma'am, do you really think people are stupid? Why do you think I have your Pokemon right here? I have Mary Jo. You thought she was stupid. You thought everybody was stupid. But we're sitting here talking about the discovery, and I have the body cams. I'm the card holder. Let me reintroduce myself. I have all the body cams, every discovery, every documented discovery. That I'm here to talk about the details that you are trolling. You're a witness. You identified yourself as Amy Hodgkins on a police body cam. And now you're terrified because, like my brother said, the diddlers have been identified. I'll tell you, Mustafa, I put a very funny post today on my TikTok channel. And I posted it on YouTube and my Instagram and Facebook. I cut the podcast from yesterday, and where I'm talking about Amy Hodgkins, a.k.a. Christina Alcaraz. And there's a filter on there with how it just changes your face into... Like, it just changes your face into, it's a funny, it turns you into a bully. Like, you look at it, you're like, this motherfucker is a straight up troll, is a straight up bully. What the fuck is that? Let me reintroduce myself to you, ma'am. I went crazy in Iraq a long time ago. And everything that we're going through. And let me reintroduce what that actually means. When we get sent overseas and go crazy, we don't actually go crazy because we made it back. And let me tell you what that means. When we go crazy, that means we get very calm, very methodical, very calculated. That I promise you, by the time I'm done with this, you're going to end up in jail, along with all your cronies, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, those people that are protecting you with a badge and a uniform. I'm going to have their badge and uniform. That investigator who has his wife online as Kate0707, I've got her body cam. I've got her on a body cam. She doesn't work with the police department. What is she doing on my body cam? I have it, so it's mine. You're on a body cam with the investigator who falsified the police report. I'm going to have his badge. I'm going to have your husband's badge. I promise you, I always win. I won in Iraq, and I'm going to win here.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. We're gonna wait for my brother to call again, and I'm gonna connect him with mom, mother, and the rest of the family. And on that note, I think I have to. Let me see if I have to disconnect from here. I don't have to disconnect. Actually, I might have to disconnect. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we do, if you do, I took a screenshot. I've got it somewhere. So I was trying to find out why, or if there was a section code for the sealing of his documents. Like, when, by law, when was the last time it's been done? If it's been done. And, where'd I go? It says in Virginia, a case might be sealed from public view before a court date if it involves sensitive information that could harm individuals, and a judge has issued a court order to seal the records, usually in situations where the charges have not yet resulted in a conviction. However, this is typically only done in very specific circumstances and not routinely before a court date. And then it gives you chapter 23.2, and, well, I've been scrolling, but I can't do it that fast.
You know, Mary Jo, that sounds.
No, I am looking.
Thank you for looking into. Very fancy, and I like to ask a very.
Prepaid call from.
I like to ask the question. I like to ask the question.
Prince William Manassas Jail.
Why
To accept
is it?
This call, press 0.
Why
To refuse
is it?
this call, your current balance is $44.
Why is it that the case is sealed? Now, in light of everything being released, that's a good question for Chief of Police Peter Newsham. That's a good question for Commonwealth Attorney who went to Judge Mustafa. Hello. Thank you for joining this podcast, not another boring podcast. You know, Mary Jo, Mustafa, Mary Jo is looking into the legalities of when and why you would seal a case in Prince William in a county. Now, Mike, in the state of Virginia. Now, my question is, tell us why. You know, we asked for the officials, like Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, who are tasked with protecting this community. Why is it that Mustafa Al-Jazari's case sealed? Tell us, come out publicly, and tell us why has it been sealed since day one. Now, it's not only sealed from the community, it's sealed from Mustafa himself. Now, that's illegal. Mary Jo, that's illegal. You can't seal it from the person that you're bringing charges against. Now, my question is, it's not, you know, I'll tell you, why is it sealed?
There's like 92 numbers that I gotta press on and find the right one. It's not giving me right to the answer.
Yes, ma'am. My question is, why is it sealed? That, and I'll tell you, and this is not me saying it anymore. This is the community telling Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, we're coming to the conclusion that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, you sealed it because your police officers have falsified the police reports. Every police report in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case is falsified. When you watch the dash camera, it shows it's a vehicle accident. You've lied to this community about the dash camera, the content of the dash camera. Your investigator, have lied. Now, we're coming to the conclusion that you sealed it because your officers lied. Now, your job is to come out and debunk what I'm saying. Tell me that I'm incorrect, because the community is coming to that same conclusion. And the longer this goes on, our message, our voice is growing. And we're going to put enough pressure on you to ask that question. As a Commonwealth attorney, why have you sealed the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Now, you've got another problem, ma'am, because, Mary Jo, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth has another problem. Because it seems that there is a common practice in Prince William County that anytime you have police misconduct, they seal off the body cam. Now, ma'am, it's one thing if I was just saying that. I'm actually here on this podcast showing this community that this is what they do. You don't have to take my word for it. Look into the case of Tatiana David, an abductee, a black girl that was abducted all the way from Ithaca, New York. and was shot and killed by state police and Prince William County Police. And what they've done, they put 50 bullets in this abductee's vehicle, shooting this black girl, and then dragging her body out of that vehicle, repositioning it somewhere else, only to say we found her outside the vehicle. But the body cam showed that she was dragged out of that vehicle. Now, Mary Jo, this is a big claim. This is a giant claim. For me to sit here and say that, this is big. For me to tell you, ma'am, you're from Arlington. Okay, you're the adjacent county to Prince William County. For me to say that, if I didn't have proof, you would tell me, sir, go fuck yourself. What the fuck are you talking about? But I'm here to tell you that I have proof, ma'am. I have proof that Prince William County Police and state police engage in police misconduct, engaged in a cover-up. And when they do, the Commonwealth Attorney seals off the body cam. Let's watch that body cam to drive the point home. Am I just out here saying things? Because when I say things for the past 2 years, I always show proof. You never seen me here. Whenever I say something, I get you a document, I get you a body cam, I get you a video, I give you receipts. I have receipts. You know that one scene from that one movie? You know what I'm talking about? I have receipts. Our trolls. Yes, ma'am. I'll tell you, our trolls, they do not have receipts. They just troll the conversation. Now, I told you about Tatiana David. Well, ma'am, Tatiana David's body cam has been supplied to me by a Prince William County police officer on a flash drive along with other files. With my brother's case, along with other files, let me show you Tatiana David being rolled around like a pretzel. This black girl dragged out of the vehicle, repositioned somewhere else, only to say, we found her outside the vehicle. I mean, if that's not disturbing enough. Yes, ma'am.
What? No, he didn't.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Casey, say that one more. Shelly, say that one more time.
I'm on the phone
Did
right
you
now.
connect Mustafa to Mama?
No, not yet. You know, I'll tell you. Thank you for saying that. I love you for saying that. I love you for saying that. I have a really bad habit of tuning
He's got 10 minutes.
everyone around.
Thank you.
Now,
He forgot.
when we actually let me play the camera really quick so I can take the phone to mother. Okay, let's see. There's so many body cams.
Hey, Amar.
Yes, sir.
Sayed Vishan Haider Bukhari.
Yeah.
He's over here harassing me.
Sayed Bukhari. What's his name? Mustafa, what's his name?
Sayed Vishan Haider Bukhari.
This is a correctional officer out of Prince William County that wants
Shut
to
off
be.
my phone call in between my call.
He wants to be famous. This is a correctional officer out of Prince William County. Does he not realize that you have a giant podcast out here in Prince William County? Does he want to insert himself in your civil lawsuit in federal court? I mean, you're sitting in court. You wrote 20 pages motion to continue your case.
I can have it at 10 o'clock until it finishes up. Call your sergeant. Call your sergeant.
On that note, let's take a break.
Call your sergeant. No, he didn't tell
A
me.
correctional officer would like to make himself famous.
I'm gonna say his name so you can make him famous.
I can't even say his name if I wanted
Come
to.
over here with that body camera. You're harassing me. Okay? You're playing these games. Call your sergeant. If you want to play these games, don't play with me. Okay? Now you're being aggressive. Now, if you hang up my phone call, or you're gonna be recorded. You're gonna be recorded. No, he did not. He never gave me 10 minutes. No, he did not. No, he did not. Hey, this officer right here is harassing me. Okay? And he brought a body camera, so he's pointing that at me, and I'm not sure what's going on. Okay? So he wants me to hang up the phone in the middle of my phone call.
What happened?
I'm in the middle of a phone call.
Mustafa.
I'm in the middle of a phone call.
Alright, your time's up.
Typically, they tell you to wrap it up. And this officer here, he just comes and he's trying to grab the phone away from me. That's Sayed Vishan Haider Bukhari. Okay?
You know, we asked the individuals that are in charge to make sure the inmates out of Prince William County.
Well, your officer, Shakib, said I can have it from 10 until it shuts off. Yes, he did. Go communicate with your officer. Communicate with your officer or call a sergeant. Okay, call a sergeant. Okay, call a sergeant. Okay. Well, call your sergeant or communicate with your partner. I have to wrap up my phone call. I have to wrap up my phone call.
So there's still some that
I've not wrapped up
Mr.
my phone
Red.
call. I was not informed to wrap up my phone call.
Hey there.
No, he did not. No, he did not. You know, they're playing games. Shakib and Bukhari. This guy right here, he's been harassing me.
Are they not aware? Are they not aware that you've got a giant civil lawsuit in federal court? Do they want to insert themselves in the middle?
No, call a sergeant and communicate properly.
I mean, you just got on the phone, and now you've got correctional officer harassing you to get off the phone. I mean, where is Sheriff Glenn Hill?
Is on the air
If I hang
because
up right now,
it's
the
going across the
$3
internet.
Where is Sheriff Glenn Hill from this conversation?
Okay, but they can still dial up.
I mean, is Sheriff Glenn Hill okay with his correctional officers harassing an inmate over a phone? He just got on the phone.
I have to say goodnight to my mother.
How many
I have
minutes is on the phone,
to
Amar?
say goodnight to
Huh?
my family.
How many
I have to
minutes
say
does it
goodnight to
say
my
you've
mom.
been on the
I've
phone
not
with
done that, and no one has given me
Literally,
any rest.
10 minutes,
Wrap it up.
and the phone before is probably
I
like,
have
how
not
long?
spoken to my mother.
Yeah.
Okay, I've not
He's
spoken
wasting
to
his
my mother.
phone time.
The phone doesn't shut off until 11:15. I'll give it to him at 11:05. I'll give it to him at 11.
They're harassing
11:05.
him for the phone
And
because another
he can
inmate
still dial
wants
up.
the phone?
That makes absolutely no sense.
Still dial out.
That makes no sense.
Is that what I'm getting?
That's exactly what you're doing, Shelly.
Good night.
Well, if they
I have to tell my mother good night. No one communicated with me. No one communicated with me.
You monitor
No
the
one
phone.
communicated with me. Okay? No, he did not. No, he did not. Bring up. Where's the body camera footage of that communication? You're supposed to bring a body camera footage every time you interact with me. Where's the body camera from earlier? Okay, make sure. But right now you're just coming abruptly and harassing me. Let me wrap up my phone call. I need to wrap up my phone call. Okay, 2 minutes. Let me wrap it up. Please step away. Okay, let me wrap it up in 2 minutes. I don't need you listening to my call. He's basically standing right here next to my tray slot and
Yeah.
telling me you have 2 minutes to wrap it up. Just tell everybody I say good night.
Mustafa, I love you.
Just let them
A
listen.
body camera in my face, okay? And he's being all aggressive. So I'm going to give him the phone, but the other officer, Shakib, told me I can have it at 10 o'clock until it shuts off. That's exactly what he told me.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody is watching this happen
They're playing
on the
these
podcast. I mean, to have correctional officer harass you. I mean, you've been in solitary confinement for 2 years. You've got your window covered for 2 years, and now they're harassing you over a phone.
6 seconds. Yo, good night.
I
Tell
love
everybody I
you,
say good night.
Mustafa. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. And
Gotta go.
Where it needs to go.
Tell my son.
I love you, man. Take care of yourself.
He didn't talk to his
All right,
mother.
take care.
We're gonna continue to talk about your case, and everybody is watching. I love you, man. Take care of yourself. Okay.
I love you too. Good night.
And toes down.
Good night, Mama.
Mustafa, you hear Shelly? She says 10 toes down. We're here with you.
All right, I appreciate it.
I love you, man. I love you. Take care of yourself. Okay.
Love you, Mustafa.
Bye. I love you
Love
too.
you,
Take care.
Mustafa.
All right,
Hang
take
in
care.
there.
You
This
hear
is
everybody?
clear harassment. He's literally in my face with a body camera pointed in my face. Just me. Oh. No, you're harassing me. You want to get famous? You want to get famous? You are famous. That's Sayed Haider Bishan Bukhari. Put that on TikTok. All right. Yo, good night.
Mustafa, I love you, man. Take care. Okay.
This is trade of harassment. Yo, good night.
I love you.
Okay, let me hang up.
Stay
Don't call
calm.
Let me hang up.
Stay
Yo,
calm.
good night.
I love you,
I'm
Mustafa.
gonna put on the down. Tell my son good night. He's trying to basically pull it from me. I'm gonna put it up. Stop being aggressive, man. Let me put it up.
All they're doing to us is going across the internet.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
And this is what we're dealing with on a daily basis for the past 2 years. I mean, to have a correctional officer be this aggressive over a phone, over a phone, over a fucking phone. I mean, Mustafa has a civil lawsuit in federal court. He wrote a 20-page lawsuit. 1, 2, 3, it goes up to 20. From solitary confinement. He used to be a paralegal. He worked as a paralegal. And he knows how to write his motion. In light of the Elaine Jarvis situation, who is now working for the county, to silence his brother from talking about his falsified police reports, he's writing his own motion from solitary confinement. And now you have a correctional officer that's harassing him over a phone. I mean, you know, Sheriff Glenn Hill has an obligation to this jail. His mission statement is to keep inmates safe, pre-trial inmates safe until they get to their court and date. Well, Sheriff Glenn Hill, we have the CCTV that your correctional officer beat Mustafa, sexually assaulted Mustafa, denied Mustafa medical. And we're moving into the discovery phase. We have some of the CCTVs, videos, where they carry Mustafa unconscious from one cell into another cell. From one cell into another cell. Unconscious. He's handcuffed behind his back. And you have your correctional officer hitting him on the head, kicking him, dragging him into another jail, another cell. And then they continue to beat him, sexually assault him, and then they deny him medical. We have that video. And now you're harassing him over a phone. I mean, is Sheriff Glenn Hill aware of this situation? I mean, am I supposed to sit here? I mean, do you really think I'm going to have to ask for everybody that's tuning in to call in Prince William County and address this correctional officer? I don't have to sit here and say that. Everybody's already doing it. Sheriff Glenn Hill has an obligation to protect these inmates and hold correctional officers to a certain standard to not harass inmates. I mean, this is bullshit. To sit here, harass an inmate, give him a phone, have another correctional officer tell him you can be on the phone, only to have another correctional officer tell him you got to give up the phone. The kid just got the phone.
Well, you got both their names, right?
Oh, I've got the names, fam.
Okay.
I've got the names. This is Mustafa CCTV. Oh, it's in the recording. This is live being recorded. I mean, our voice is getting louder every day. This is the CCTV. We've been screaming for the past 2 years that they beat my brother. They sexually assaulted my brother. Well, today, you don't have to hear from me anymore. You can just watch the CCTV. And it's so disturbing because, yes, ma'am.
We need to start bringing some of the old pictures, videos forward, so it's bringing more attention to it again. Bring it back in the open.
Yep. We have to bring those videos, bring them out on other social media platforms, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and bring light to what's happening in our county jail. I mean, why is it that you have so much abuse in this county jail? I mean, this is a CCTV where 6 correctional officers on May 24, 2023 enter my brother's cell. Not 1, not 2, 6. What justifies 6 giant correctional officers to enter Mustafa's cell only to carry him unconscious? I mean, his head is all limped. His foot is off the ground. He's handcuffed. He's half naked, and you're hitting him on the head, kicking him, and you want to tell me that's okay? You want to live in that county and that's okay? I mean, we're all a heartbeat away from ending up in our county jail as pre-trial detainee. Do you know how thin the threshold is for probable cause? I mean, have you even looked into our justice system? Do you know how easy it is to end up in this county jail? And to deal with correctional officer this aggressive. 6 giant correctional officers enter your jail cell only to take you out unconscious and naked, handcuffed behind your back while they're still hitting you. I mean, I got arrested by Sheriff Glenn Hill for talking about this. A year ago.
Have ever said that Mustafa was brought out all bloody? I've never heard that. Did you say that?
We said Mustafa was beaten up, sexually assaulted, and denied medical.
Right. But he wasn't all bloody and drew.
You know, I'll tell you, ma'am, what's really disturbing is all you have to do is look at the pictures 2 weeks after him getting beaten up. He's got bumps on his head. He's got a arm 3 size of a normal arm. And we're talking about an inmate that's in solitary. Yes, ma'am. We're talking about an inmate that's in solitary confinement. So you can't tell me an inmate beat him up because the only person that has access to this inmate is a correctional officer. And this is 2 weeks after this situation.
Sure, they don't have.
I mean, this is his head.
Don't video inside of the cells, so he did have to clean it, but that was after they took him downstairs and finished.
Right, and that's what I said. After they took him downstairs and he had to clean it up with his own clothes.
Correct.
But they didn't show that. Yeah,
You know,
because upstairs they didn't do that and he wasn't all bloody when they brought him out.
you know,
And Mary
Yes, ma'am.
Jo, they did say that Mustafa was uncooperative to go to the doctors at one time. He asked them to talk to his lawyer because he was afraid. He was afraid to go with them.
I mean, Char, you know,
Done for him.
yes, ma'am. You know, I'll tell you, if I was in Mustafa's shoes and you beat me and you do all, if I was in Mustafa's shoes and you have the same correctional officers, we're talking about the same one that beat you, sexually assaulted you, denied you medical, is escorting you to a place that they're not telling you where. They're like, we're going to take you to an undisclosed location. We got to take you. You think I'm going to fucking go? Oh, fuck no, I'm not going. I am not going. You're going to take me. What are you going to do to me on the way? What do you want to do to me? I mean, this jail, you think this is random that they put the same correctional officer that beat you, sexually assaulted you, on the medical transport? They don't want to take him anywhere. They know the kid is terrified. This is a show. They're putting on a show for the body cam. They know the kid is terrified. We're outside the jail. When this was happening, we were living in the parking lot at the time. And the real question is, let's play devil advocate here. I mean, the jail has a medical staff, right? I mean, his condition must be serious enough that you're going to take this inmate, put him on a transport to an outside facility. I mean, is that what you're telling us? You can't say this. It's either this or it's either that. It's either his condition was so severe that you had to take him to an outside medical facility, that you thought that you should put in a tactical team, transport this inmate to an outside facility, that his condition is that serious. Is that what you're telling me? I mean, which one is it? Are you putting on a show for the body cam that you know you're going to be sued? Or his condition was so serious? I mean, you beat him. Take the man to the hospital. Give him medical. I mean, when we're going through the medical reports,
Not to mention any healthcare provider and as well as the COs don't have to. They have to only suspect abuse. They don't have to witness it,
exactly,
and they are mandated reporters.
exactly, exactly. Why wasn't he? Why hasn't he gotten medical? I mean, this is so disturbing. I mean, Mustafa, when he was helicoptered to the hospital, when Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital, he was CT scanned. They did a full body CT scan. When the accident happened, when they helicoptered him, they did a CT scan. I mean, why is it that when we're looking through the medical reports inside the jail, his body has not been scanned? You scan everywhere except the injuries. Are you kidding me? You're scanning everywhere except his injuries. You refuse to x-ray the injured arm. You refuse to x-ray his head. You refuse to x-ray his leg. You're x-raying everything except the injuries. I mean, this is Mustafa's arm. This is his head. This is his arm. Does that look normal to you? This is an injury 2 weeks after Mustafa got beaten up by these giant correctional officers. I mean, the kid's arm is 3 times the size of a normal arm. And you want to tell me no medical staff inside this jail that Sheriff Glenn Hill likes to call a hotel saw? I mean, I'll tell you, they're going to be held accountable. Now, let's go back to what I was telling Mary Jo about the common practice in Prince William County. Mary Jo is so beautiful that she took time out of her day to look into the legalities of sealing a case. Now, my question to Mary Jo and everybody here and everybody in the community, my question specifically to Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, you went to Judge Carol Weimer and you sealed off Mustafa's case. Why did you seal off Mustafa's case? You have to have a reason. Now, we're looking into these body cams that you sealed under Judge Carol Weimer and the discovery documents, and we're finding every police report falsified. Is that the reason? Because you have not came out on the record and addressed the issue. And I think, being your constituents, we're entitled to an answer. I mean, you're in a voted position.
Right.
You have an obligation to this community. And we're asking you a question. Are you just going to ignore us? Are you just going to ignore your constituents? Is that what's happening here? Is it because you think the media is in your pocket that no one is going to talk about the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Well, I think, man, we're a little past that. In light of everything being leaked out on the internet, body cams, discovery. I mean, Mary Jo, what if I tell you that this is not just the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? And I can sit here and prove it to you, ma'am. You're from this county. Shelly, you're from this county. I've got other individuals across country. I'm here to tell you that in your county, there is a common practice that every time police officers engage in police misconduct, they're protected. There's no accountability. And that's a problem. I mean, are you okay with living in a county where there's no accountability under Chief of Police Peter Newsham, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth? No. No. It has to be stopped. It has to be addressed. And we're working on it. We have the federal government. When the local government fail you, you ask for the federal government to step in. Why do you think we're here? We're on this podcast. We go in front of the FBI building. I drive my giant trucks.
Okay.
This is all putting pressure to have these individuals in the federal government do their job. And if you think that they're not going to do their job, you're senile. We have Trump in office. Those Democrats are getting removed from our county. Those fake Democrats, those fake Republicans that bet on the wrong horse thinking that Trump is not going to be in office. Well, he's in office. And what I find disturbing is the same thing that you're doing in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case on a local level. You've done it to him. You've done it to Trump. I mean, you had the FBI, the DOJ mechanized against that man. That's on a national level. I mean, you're hearing about my brother's case. You're hearing about the other files that we're talking about. How many? The question is, the fact that the media is not telling you what is happening here. How many other cases are going on in our community that you and me don't know about? How far gone is our community? And I think that's a valid question. I mean, when you look at a Mustafa Al-Jazari case and you type it up in our local media inside Nova, and it says Mustafa is charged with 2 counts of manslaughter, they're lying to you, up in your face, lying to you. And this is very strategic. They don't want to tell you Mustafa is charged with 2 counts of murder, because the minute they do, you're going to ask, wait a minute, 2 years ago, a year ago, I heard about this being a vehicle accident. How did it go from vehicle accident to murder? I'm intrigued. I have to ask questions. Pick up the phone. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth office. Yes, I'd like to speak to the Commonwealth. Well, she's busy right now, sir. How can we help you? Well, I'd like to inquire about the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Where is his body cam? Why is it that I only have 5 seconds of a deformed version of a dash camera released by the Commonwealth attorney? Why is it that the only person that is releasing information is his brother? Why is the case sealed? I like to FOIA request the body cams. Why is it sealed? And she's going to have to answer that question. You're her constituent. You voted her in, right? As a Commonwealth attorney, she's an elected position. You voted her in. Why is the Commonwealth attorney refusing to answer a simple question? Why is the body cams and the discovery sealed? You're going to be disturbed because you're going to be asking questions. Is this safe for me to be in this county? I mean, I've got a 9-to-5 job. I've got a career. I've got a small business. My kids are growing up here. I've got a mortgage. Is it safe under the watch of Sheriff Glenn Hill, under the watch of Chief of Police Peter Neuscher, under the watch of Commonwealth Amy Ashworth? Is it safe for me to bring up my family in this community watching what they're doing to the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? I mean, and you're diving into a case, and at this point, you're not even scratching the surface. You're just inquiring about the case. You're just disturbed to the fact that it's sealed. I mean, what if I tell you it's more disturbing? It's more far gone. Our county is so far gone that there's a common practice in Prince William County that they seal off every police misconduct. And I can prove it. Forget the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Let's talk about Tatiana David. This is a body cam where Tatiana David, we all heard about Tatiana David. And if you forgot who Tatiana David, let me remind you. If you go on YouTube and type Tatiana David, she was all over the news. This is her poor brother, Emmanuel Espada.
That's not fair.
He's asking
she did
for answers.
in the world.
He's asking a very simple question. What happened to my sister?
Just heartbreaking to hear him speak about his
Tatiana David.
And again, as he saw from Sky 9
is an
some of the
abductee
current
out of
conditions for
Ithaca, New York.
traffic
The
continues
official
here on the
story.
southbound lane. Now, one big question at this hour is how exactly Tatiana died. I did ask
How exactly
this morning whether
did
she was
Tatiana
fired a bullet, and
die?
if so, who fired that bullet? Was
Who
it the driver?
fired
Was it police? At this hour, they told us that
the
that
bullet
is still
into Tatiana
under
David?
investigation. So that's one of the big questions.
It's still an
Leaving all the
ongoing
families
investigation.
frustrated, saying that the system failed Tatiana.
We
not
found her
recognizing these signs
outside the
of
vehicle.
violence. For now, they're reporting here along
They tell
I-95.
you-
I'm Evan Kozloff, WE.
Now to some other breaking news right now about a
The
story that
news
started following late last
will
night.
tell you
a police chase in Virginia.
that
and
the
a
police
shootout on
found
the
her
side of
outside the
I-95.
vehicle
Here's a live look right now from
with
Sky 9 News.
bullet
Crews
holes.
worked to move that car from the tree line along the highway. We're
That's
learning that the
Tatiana's
woman
David.
found dead in the car involved was a kidnapping victim.
She was
Now, this started
kidnapped
with an attempted traffic stop on
by her
I-95 in
boyfriend,
Springfield,
the father
and
of
ended
her
about
5-year-old
20 miles
baby,
south with a shootout near the
out of
Quantico exit.
Ithaca, New York.
Evan Kozlov has been tracking this morning's fast-moving developments. He joins us live on
And
95 with the latest. Evan?
State police in Prince William County decided to pursue that vehicle. Now, according to state police, by law, you have to outweigh the risk. And at that point, you have to make a decision whether you pursue an abductee or not. Prince William County and state police made the call to pursue that vehicle. Now, at that point, was that the right decision? No. But you would expect Chief of Police Newsham, Peter Newsham, to hold those individuals who made that call accountable. This is a military vet that state police in Prince William County put 50 bullets into that vehicle. I thought we're talking about an abductee. What are you doing firing 50 AR bullet hole into that vehicle? I mean, when they dragged her body, when Prince William County and state police dragged her body out of that vehicle, you can see that her body is riddled with bullets. Even then, you would say, we asked for accountability. Someone made the wrong call. They put 50 bullets. Someone made the wrong call. We have a chief of police, a Commonwealth attorney, that's going to hold those officers accountable. But to sit here and say it's okay to have the Commonwealth attorney, Amy Ashworth, seal off those body cams, it's been over 2 years. No one has been held accountable for the death of Tatiana David by the police. As a matter of fact, it gets worse. The cover-up is worse than what actually happened. Because at that point, you can say whatever you want to justify for those police officers and you can ask for accountability. Who made that call? Let's hold those individuals accountable so this doesn't happen again. I mean, we're talking about an abductee. I mean, at what point do you not care about this girl's life? The disregard for life is disturbing. I mean, if this was Michelle, if this was a white girl, would state police and Prince William County have disregarded her life the same way they disregarded Tatiana David's life? That's a good question. I think that's a valid question. Or is it because we're talking about a black girl that no one seems to give a fuck? We have a body cam that was sealed by Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. Now, these are giant claims, Mary Jo. Ma'am, these are giant claims. And if I didn't have the body cam of Prince William County Police and state police rolling around her body like a pretzel inside that vehicle, then dragging a dead body riddled with AR-15 bullet hole somewhere else, reposition it somewhere else, you would tell me, my father was a police officer out of Prince William County, sir. I have a lot of respect for police. For you to sit there and make these claims, sir, go fuck yourself. But ma'am, I am here to tell you that I have that body cam. And under the watch of Chief of Police Peter Newsham, under the watch of Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, this is a cover-up. And by no means I'm saying this is a reflection of every police officer. I still sit here and say this is not a reflection of every police officer. There is no one that wants to say thank you for your service more than me. I did 2 civilian contracts overseas. I've seen the worst. When I got back, I channeled that PTSD. I started a company for the Marines home base. A basic roadside assistant company. Every time they get stuck, I would show up. In the cold, in the rain, in the snow, I would be there. Putting those Marines back on the road. Half the time, I'm zeroing out their balance. Because they're Marines. I hired military police Marines. Kids that I would train on their day off, put in my company, and put them to work. Marine serve Marine. I have a really good relationship with the watch commanders home base. Because I took care of their fucking Marines. I spent time overseas. There's no one that wants to say thank you for your service more than me. But to sit here and see body cam sealed because of police misconduct is not okay. Those body cams are going around on the internet. And the community is watching. And if you think this is going to go away, it's not going away. This community is not stupid. We're all watching the development of the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. We're all watching the development of the Tatiana David case. And we're asking for accountability. I mean, when you see me here, what am I asking for? I'm asking for accountability. I'm sitting here telling you I have police reports in my brother's file, discovery file, and they're all falsified. I watched the body cam, and they're falsified. His conversation with the investigator is falsified. His other conversation, his other body cams at the hospital, his other body cams, everything is falsified. Who do I talk to in this county that I can ask for accountability? Who do I go in this police department that I can ask to hold those police officers accountable? Or is it this county so far gone that they don't care? They don't care if you have the evidence. They're untouchable. They're immune. How long do we have to wait for the federal government to do their job?
We have to push. They're not untouchable. It's just we have to actually make a stand and go through, follow through, which we are, which you are for sure. For sure.
Ma'am, it's been over 2 years. And I've been arrested by the sheriff for talking about my brother. For talking about the inmates that died in our county jail. That are being abused in our county jail. Right. Now I have the county come after me for talking about police misconduct. I mean, and instead of addressing the content of the situation, they want to put you away?
Yeah, silence you.
They want to silence you? I mean, but I'll tell you, ma'am, there's a lot of individuals in this county that doesn't stand for what's happening here. Right. And the biggest testimony to that is you have a police officer out of Prince William County who supplied me with these files. Now we're having a conversation, a very disturbing conversation for Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, for Chief of Police Peter Newsham. I mean, this is not okay. This is what they said that we found. They said 2 years ago, we found Tatiana David outside the vehicle with a bullet hole, and we can determine whether it's her boyfriend or the police. They're insinuating that she came out of the vehicle and she was in the car in the crossfire. I mean, this is Tatiana David's body being rolled around like a pretzel, and she's going to be dragged. She's already dead. She's got 50 bullets hole in her. She's going to be dragged somewhere else, repositioned somewhere else, only to say we found her outside the vehicle. I mean, Mary Jo, this would be a different kind of conversation if I was telling you all this without showing you this body cam.
Did you hear the one I was listening to? They have a few clips roaming around about that.
Yes, ma'am.
And just to hear the news lady say that she was found with a bullet. How did she say it? Hold on. With a bullet. I forgot how she.
That's exactly what. Gunshot wound, and we can determine.
Single.
Yep, single. Exactly.
After I saw that
There
video,
you go. Yep.
showed her whole arm was tore up from gunshot.
And you can tell these are AR-15 bullet holes. So you know.
Gunshot wound.
And they're insinuating exactly. They want the community, mislead the community. You tell them that the boyfriend shot her, case closed. That's it. And for whoever is still inquiring about the detail, they tell you it's an ongoing investigation, just to get your mind off the case. Go back to your 9-to-5 job. Go back to your small business. Worry about your family. We've got this taken care of. I mean, this is Tatiana David, body dragged out of a vehicle, repositioned somewhere else. You know how terrifying this is? That you expect our police officer. I mean, this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anybody's sister, anybody's girlfriend, anybody's daughter. I mean, how are we going to prevent this situation from not repeating itself? That's a good question. If there's no accountability, if nothing has been done about Tatiana David, how can you tell me this is not going to happen again? But this is what we have under Chief of Police Peter Newsham, Commonwealth's Amy Ashworth. And that goes back to what you said earlier, ma'am, about you looking up the legality of this case. I've yet to hear an answer. Why is it that Mustafa Al-Jazari's case is sealed? Why is the Tatiana David body cam sealed? Why is the 18-year-old that died in our county jail 9 days into his incarceration, Juan Campos, his body cams are sealed? It's all police misconduct. Anytime you have police misconduct, they're going to seal off your body cam. And we ask... Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Does say that. If it could harm, if there's, you should read it. It covers quite a broad variety to cover their own ass. Okay, we can seal it.
You know, it's what's the point of having body cams if you have government officials that are so corrupt that anytime you have a situation where you demand accountability, they're just going to brush it under the carpet and pretend nothing happened. I mean, you know how dangerous? I mean, you know how far gone our community is that this is allowed? And the real question is, the media has an obligation to protect the community. I mean, what is protecting the community? I mean, the way you find out about situations in your community is through the media. But if the media is not telling you the situation, the question is, what else do you not know that is happening in your community? You know about the Tatiana file. You know about the Mustafa Al-Jazari file. You know about the other files that we've publicized. But what else is going on that you don't know about, that I don't know about, just as bad as the Mustafa Al-Jazari case and the other files? I mean, that's disturbing. That's a very valid question. You know, Mary Jo, a while back, our trolls like to engage in trolling the conversation. Just when the conversation heats up and you want to get to the bottom of it, they like to troll the conversation. I like to call it manufactured outrage. They threw around that I'm a racist. Now, you were there, you heard everything, everybody heard. And they said, Amar called the star witness in his brother's case a monkey. Amar is a racist. Now, am I a racist? That's interesting. For a guy that walks around calling himself a barefooted monkey, they're offended that I call a guy that falsified my brother's case, that's a pedophile, that on a recorded line he says he fucked a 16-year-old, that I'm calling him my monkey. For a guy that walks around calling himself a barefooted monkey, I mean, I walk around, you've heard me, and I'm very proud of it, by the way. I was protesting in front of the jail for going over 2 years for my brother, for falsifying his police report, barefooted. That I coined the term that I am a barefooted monkey, and I am here, and I'm going to hold you accountable for doing this to my brother by law. I was literally barefooted. Like, literally. I lived in that parking lot for over a year. You know, I'll tell you, ma'am, you know what manufactured outrage is?
No.
They want to be outraged at me calling Glenn Ford, the fake witness into my brother's case, a monkey. But they're not outraged about this black girl. This is a black girl who was shot and killed by the police. They all those trolls that are going around upset about me calling Glenn Ford a monkey. Where is the outrage over this black girl? I mean, these are not allegations. This is not me saying this. I'm literally showing you a body cam of a black girl roll around like a pretzel, twisted around, being carried out of that vehicle by Prince William County Police and State Police, already dead, riddled with AR-15 bullet holes. That's a black girl. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage of Glenn Ford? The monkey that I'm calling a monkey. Where is his outrage? Christina Warda, a.k.a. Amy Hodgkins, another witness in the Mustafa Al-Jazari, that runs a page going around calling me a racist. Well, ma'am, you're watching this body cam. Oh, wait a minute. We shouldn't talk about that. Where is all those trolls on her page? That's a black girl. Are you not outraged? I mean,
Don't forget that Prince William County said that they weren't there at the time they arrived later.
that's my favorite line. Oh my God, that is my favorite line, Bustos. Prince William County issued out a statement on their official Facebook, and they said, we showed up after the fact assisting other agencies.
Right.
Wait a minute. We just saw Prince William County drag Tatiana David out of that vehicle. I mean, am I going half blind here? I mean, is this not Prince William County dragging Tatiana David? I mean, that's assisting other agencies? Are we playing with words now? Assisting other agencies in what exactly? Oh, the cover-up. Dragging her outside the vehicle. I mean, let's flip the scenario for 2 seconds and say that it's not Prince William County Police Department there dragging that body. It's me dragging that body. And I get to tell you, ma'am, I showed up after the fact and I was assisting with the situation. What the fuck do you think would happen to me? Do you think I'm coming back home? Or are you going to tell me, you're dragging a dead body out of that vehicle, sir? That's what Prince William County is doing. It's telling you, in a fancy term, we showed up after the fact, and we're assisting other agencies. They're talking about state police. They're not even denying the body cam. I mean, who do you hold accountable in Prince William County? And on that note, we went over an hour. We're gonna end the podcast here. This is a good point to stop the podcast. Tomorrow, we're gonna take a deep dive into a specific body cam of Glenn Ford, and we're gonna fabricate into the things that he says. Investigator Davis on that body cam would ask him certain questions, and Glenn Ford replies with certain answers. Now you'll be surprised and you'll be shocked and disturbed at the conversation of how far the bullshit goes into the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. They're not interested in running an investigation. This is a targeted effort to use individuals like Glenn Ford, the jealous ex-boyfriend, Kylie Clapp, who solicited to kill Mustafa on a recorded line, who has a relationship with someone that hates Mustafa a month before he was in a relationship with her mother, unbeknownst to Mustafa. She sneaks into the car, attempting to frame Mustafa with a video that doesn't show anything. This girl has it out for Mustafa. Mary Jo, say that one more time.
I said, you ready to share that mic tomorrow?
Oh, ma'am, I'd love to share that mic with you. I'm gonna do a better job at sharing that mic. I'm gonna attempt every piece of fiber in my body. I'm gonna work on sharing that mic with you. Now, I can't promise anything. Okay, I can't promise anything. I mean, I have a very bad habit of tuning everything out, and it's so beautiful that everybody is watching it. They're like, this barefooted monkey keeps snatching the mic out of Mary Jo. Even my own mother is telling me, let that beautiful lady talk. On that note, thank you for being here, Mary Jo. I look forward to you being here tomorrow. We're gonna start the podcast at 10 o'clock. I'll put up the date. I'll put up the time. Tomorrow, I look forward to you being here, ma'am. I look forward to everybody being here on the group chat. Thank you for being here on this podcast. And this is not another boring podcast. Judge Carol Weimer, Under the Microscope. Glenn Ford, Amy Hodgkins, Kylie Clapp. The witnesses that saw everything, but were not there. Under the Microscope. Thank you for being here.